Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, Thinker Right out here in the lab, in the wee hours of the morning. Where I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson for you. We're going to finish up on this definition thing, so let's do it. Rightism, 25 rules to live by, storytelling, story with a message. Put the message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and here I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through a mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. Excuse me. Right thinkers, that's the most important thing we want to do. And my mission is to make sure we all do just that. Know thyself. The question I ask, do you know you? If you got a problem with that and the answer is rhetorical, because you should know. And if not, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not that they know not, foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, it's okay. They're spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to do just that. Wake you up with yourself. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. We finished up with knowledge, which was the cave. Knowledge, the knoweth, the world of knowledge. Knowledge is composed of what? The knowing atmosphere of all the knowers of who? The truant selves. Remember, we say self truant, that means there's three aspects. They're all the three. They're all the knowledge of what? Every truant self is available and at the service of every knower. When you know yourself because of the knowledge that you have, you got you covered. All right, start with the L's. Law. Hmm. Man's law, nature law, God's law. Whose law we talking about? Just laws right now. We got some more, so let's get ready. Law, a perception for performance made by the thoughts and acts of its maker or makers, and to which those who have subscribed are bound. When you follow the law, you're bound by that law. Cosmic law is what we don't take. You reap what you sow. That's not man's law, that's cosmic law. Okay? Karma, not man's law. Again, God's law. You got 12 laws that pretty much is cosmic laws. So now we got law of nature. hmm Again, guys. Law of nature is what? Is the action or function of a unit which is conscious as its function only. Nature just does nature. It don't have conscious of who and what it is. It just does its thing. It functions on that level. Like the body, when the mind controls the heartbeat, the blood flow, that's functioning. It's doing its job. The heart pumping blood is a function. It's doing its job. Right thinking is a function. Use it. Why? It'll do its job. Law of thought. The lower thought is that what? Everything on the physical plane, in the body, physical plane meaning in the body, is what? Is the externalization of a thought. The thought isn't here. The actions are here. That's the externalization of the thought being brought to life. Creates himself. Words of power. And watch this. Externalization of a thought, which what? Must be balanced by the one who generated in accordance to his responsibility and at the conjunction of time, condition, and place. You're responsible for the action that you put into creation. Your thoughts, your actions, you're responsible for them. That's the law of thought. Law of thought, destiny, and agents of the. See what they're talking about. Each human is an agent. Okay, all right, with that. For good or for wickedness. Again, he's back to the choice. Every human has a choice to be good or evil. That's Maya. And he didn't say that, but that's what that represents. When you see me doing this, that's Maya. And for the good or wickedness, watch this, by who? His or her purpose in life, and by what he or she thinks and what they does. By what he thinks and does one what fits himself or herself to be used by others. Can't nobody do nothing to you you don't allow them to do. That's what that means. So watch this. People cannot be used, watch this, coerced to act against their inner motives. Don't let nobody tell you what you believe or feel to do otherwise. Uh-uh. Except, watch this, as they have fitted themselves by their thoughts and acts. Then they are what influenced to act or yield by other humans, especially when they have no definite purpose in life. Not knowing thyself, you have no purpose in life. So the purpose is to what? Know thyself. Those who have a purpose, who know themselves, are what? Are also instruments. Why? Because whatever the purpose, it will fit in for good or for evil. Again, your choice with the government, your choice of the world by the conscious agents of the law. Knowing thyself, knowing you're responsible for your actions. All those are laws that you need to understand. Why? Because they're going to be there. You can't change them. Speeding law. If you get caught speeding, you can't change the law. You broke the law. The law says do this. You did that. You had to pay for that. That's karma. That's common sense. That's the law of the land, law of nature, period. That's law. Stuff that you can't change. Okay? And if you break it, you have to pay. Simple. Moving on. Now we got what? Learning. One of my favorites. We don't teach our young how to learn, how to comprehend, compartmentalize, and understand there's a higher power, aka God. The younger we get them to do that, to learn about themselves and their higher self, the better people they will be in the future. Most of the people who do the crazy and heinous acts, they don't have no regard for themselves, don't know themselves, and they just wilding, doing whatever comes naturally to them. Beastly nature. A lot of us live on that beastly nature. Moving on. Learning. That's how you rise above the beastly nature with what? Knowledge of self. The best knowledge is not from Oxford, Yale. No, from within. Mm-hmm. All them colleges you can go to don't beat self-knowledge. That's my point. I watched my dude beat them scholars to death. Okay? Sadi Guru. Okay? Watch this. Learning. What's learning? Learning is the essence of what? Experience. Who's your best teacher? Experience. So when you experience something, you just gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of that particular thing that you can speak for, of experiencing for yourself. That's that God moment. When you have your moment with God, you can speak on it. You can share it. Why? Because you had it. If you haven't had it, all you can do is imagine, think, and hear. You don't know. You got to believe. I don't do that. All right, watch this. But learning is the essence of experience, extracted from what? That experience by what? Thinking, so that the light can be free and that the experience need not be repeated. If you do something that's wrong and you pay for it, perfect example again, life lesson. I went to prison. After 3 years, when I came out, I knew one thing, and didn't tell nobody a word, didn't utter a word to nobody. But I told myself, I'm not doing this again. So whatever I got to do not to put myself in this position, that's learning. Life lessons, that's how you learn them. I'm trying to give you a heads up so when it happens, you recognize it and realize it, and you'll be able to make a better decision. That's all learning is about. Somebody got to teach you. All you got to do is pay attention. Learning is a two kinds. You got sense learning, which is the experience from the body, experiment, observation, and the recording of these as what? Memories concerning nature. And watch this. The doer learning as the result of what? Right thinking of itself as what? Feeling and desire and of their relation. You have to understand the heart and the mind have to operate as one. The detail, of memory learning may last through what? A life of the body, but will be lost when? After death. Your memory is your consciousness. When you die, it dies with you unless you, matter of fact, your memory dies up here. The heart conscious is what's going to take you through the next life. Why? That's what's left. They leave the heart and the body, took everything out, even the brain. They didn't even care about the brain. They stored the intestines, the lungs, the stomach, and they didn't care about the brain. Why? They know it only good in the physical. When the body's alive, after death, that has no use. That's why. Watch this. Now, what the doer learns about himself as being distinct from the body will not be lost. Meaning your conscious of your higher self won't be lost. You'll still know who you are because when you go home, you need to be conscious of who you are so you can hang out with people. The bar is a falcon with your head if you wake up and become knowledge of self. Nihas. You reach Nihas, your body, your conscious is secure. So when the body ceases to exist, it's going to go back with you intact, memory and all. Okay. That will, watch this, thereafter be with the doer through what? Its lives on earth as it inherit knowledge. Every life that you don't learn or raise their level, next life, somebody coming on, and the spirit is waiting to get recognized by the individual body that is in so that it can go home. It just waits. Now, let's deal with a lot of people. We in the L, so you know where I'm headed with this. Liar. Now, this is just a one-liner, but I'm going to add a lot more to that one line. Okay, why? A liar is what? Is one who tells as truth what he knows to be not so true or so untrue. Meaning, you know when you tell somebody something that ain't true. You know that. And if you think they don't know it, you think you can tell them whatever you want. This is the liar's creed. If you don't know I'm lying, I'm going to keep on lying. The way to stop a liar is truth. Simple. He don't have truth. He fabricated the truth. If you know and understand the truth, you can tell by what he's saying, do he know the truth? That's called discernment, knowing truth from false. Again, we need to be able to recognize a liar. I do. That's a good trait and good quality to have. Why? Because a lot of us, well, I thought he said, yeah, he lied, she lied, and you believed it. So you got to deal with the consequences. Again, because you don't know something, don't exempt you from the consequences of making a bad decision or doing a bad act. Moving on. Now, to be free, liberty, not the statute, but liberty is what? Let's understand the definition of liberty. In liberty is immunity from what? Imprisonment. Physical, mental, whatever. But you need to liberate yourself, and you do that with gaining knowledge of self. Watch this. Liberty is immunity from imprisonment or slavery, and the right of one to what? Do as one please, as long as one does not interfere with another's equal rights and choices. I feel the same way. Why? I'll do what I do, and I respect whatever you do. Why? I want you to respect what I do. In order to get it, you got to give it. So I'm always willing to give. The only problem gonna be is when it don't be reciprocated, and it may be a problem. I ain't got a problem with that either. See? Don't think because you're spiritual religious, you ain't violent. I'm very violent if I have to be. So being nice and soft, yeah, but no, I'm not. I'm not that one. My pastor called me his Peter. Why? Because the storm's going down. I'm cutting off somebody's ear. New way. We ain't got to use the sword. That's the better than that. But yeah, that's the concept. Liberty is being free to be yourself. I just did a lesson. I'm so glad I can be myself. That's liberty. But you liberate yourself with knowledge of self. It's the thing called liberation. Why? You free yourself with knowledge of self. Being ignorant of self, you're bondage. Sorry about that, but that's the simple fact. Let's talk about life. But it's one hell of a fight. But you're right, thinker. Everything will come out right. Why? I'm glad to have you in my corner. You know that we're close, and we work harder than most. But they will be giving us a toast. Why? Because they be celebrating us as right thinkers, doing and being our best selves. That's worth celebrating. Let's go. A little quick lesson there. Life is a unit of what? Growth, the carrier of light through form. Life acts as what? The agent between the above and the below, bringing the fine into the gross and the reconstruction and transforming the gross into what? Refinement. In every seed, there is a unit of what? Life. In man, it is what you call the breath form. Called spirit, soul, breath form, all the same thing. Again, what you call something is you called it that, but the other person called something different. We call air air. They call air shoe. Still air. Okay, that's the concept. Now, life is given by the breath form that's in the spirit, that's in the body. Same thing, same concept. Now let's talk about life to one's critical understanding. What the what? Yeah, talk about it. Life to one's critical understanding is what? Is more or less of a nightmare. Why is that? An apparently real but uncertain series of sudden or long, drawn out, more or less vivid and intense happenings in the phantasmagory. What the? I looked that word. I meant to look that word up. That's what I didn't do. But life critical understanding, meaning you living this life to your best ability. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And for sometimes bad is nightmare. Oh, I had nightmares. Yeah, okay, things just didn't go your way. But when you're dreaming, you are in a situation that you control. A lot of us don't know that. Okay, when you help us in your dream, you're not in control. Okay, it's called lucid dreaming, realizing you're in the dream. So let's talk about light. Where we come from, light is knowledge. Let's see what his definition is. Light is that which makes things visible. Okay. But which cannot itself be seen. I like that concept. I understand it. It is positive. It is composed of the units of straight and or sunlight or moonlight or earth light, or of the combination or condensation and expression of these are electricity or as to the combustion of gas, fluids, or solids. Combustion action, something going on, electricity generation, like candle, fire, like light consciousness. Hmm. See what they talk about. Light consciousness is the light which what the true self receives from its intelligence. We call it being illuminated, the illuminated one. That means you shine from the inside. Your light is shining from the inside out. It is not natural nor reflected by what nature, though when it is sent into nature and associates with nature units, nature seems to what? Manifest intelligence. And it may be called what? The God in nature. When by thinking, the conscious light is what? Turned and held on one thing. You'll focus your thought on something, that's being conscious and being aware. And what happened? It shows that the thing is to be as it is. The conscious light is therefore truth. The third eye is your conscious light. Why? It sees the truth. It knows all. That's what don't change. Truth don't change. That's what makes it abiding. Because, watch this, truth shows things to be as what they are. People, they show you who they are. Got to use them again. TD Jakes, Bishop, blah, blah, blah. But when you see him for who he really are, who he really is, But what? The things he do when nobody's around, the things that he do on his own time. Integrity is doing the good things, the right things when nobody's watching, because you're supposed to think that he's watching all the time. And what makes you think he ain't seeing you doing that nonsense that you're doing? That freaks me out. So I'm not beat for that, but we're starting to see that happen more and more. See them for who they are, not for who they present themselves. The fruits of their labor. Okay. His labor is outside the pulpit. What he doing out there? In the pulpit, he's good. Yeah, yeah, that's his thing. But when a person does something like that, check them out when they ain't doing that. I tell you, I'm the same dude. When I ain't here, I'm the same dude. Moving on. Now, watch this. Conscious light is what? Is fogged. But wait a minute. But the conscious light is fogged and obscured by what? Thoughts, when feeling and desire try to think. So the human being sees things as it wants to see them, or in a modified degree of what they call truth. A good person will show he's a good person. You ain't got to believe or think or hope he's a good person. They will show you. All you gotta do is pay attention, observe. That's it. Use your discernment with the conversation that he's saying. Some of the stuff you say, that don't add up. Okay, but understand that. Now we got, go past that, go past that, I don't like that. I don't like them. I got a good one. Lost soul. What's a lost soul? Unenlightened human being. So now, on that knowledge, we got a whole bunch of lost souls who don't know themselves, and they wander around the human body, don't know what to do, and do whatever comes natural. A lot of it is instinctive, so they just do what they want to do. Okay, that's the five lost soul. Got a nice little thing about it. Lost soul is a what is called a so what is called a lost soul is not the soul, but is a portion of the doer part, and it is not permanently, but only temporarily lost or cut off from what is re-existence. If you're lost, it don't be a matter of time for you to come back. And watch this. And the other portions of the doer, this happens when what? When in one or two cases, when the doer portion has through long periods of time persisted in extreme selfishness and use the light loaned to it. I told you the spirit is the loaner from God. He wanted it back. Your job is to enlighten it and bring it back home. So they saw the light, the spirit. The light which is loaned to you, watch, in a deliberate fraud, murder, ruin, or cruelty to others, and has become an enemy to mankind. When you become a bad person, you're going to do bad things. Simple as that. Okay. Then watch this. The light is what? Withdrawn. And the doer portion ceases to re-exist. It retires into what? Chambers of the earth, the crust, and self-torment until what? It has exhausted itself and may thereafter reappear on earth. That's the constant rebirth. That's the constant reincarnation over and over again. That means you ain't learning the life lessons when you come into the life form. That's what that means. Now, the second case is when you, the doer, has what? Wasted the light through what? Self-indulgence and what? Pleasures, gluttony, drinking, drugs, and eventually becomes what? An incurable idiot. When your whole life is based on you getting, having, receiving, doing things that just pleasure you, you are an idiot. Simple. Then watch this. Then you the doer, that doer portion goes to what? A chamber in the earth. Watch this. There it remains until it can be what? Allowed to continue what? Its reincarnation process. Again, there's a state that you go through that you have to wait and understand which way it's going to happen. They call it Judgment Day. Everybody goes through it. In both cases, watch this. In both those cases, the retirement is for the what? Safety of others as well as his own. When you are ignorant of yourself, you are dangerous. Again, those who believe they know and don't know, they're dangerous to themselves and others. That's what they're telling you right here. Okay, the lost soul. All right, let's go. Let's go with love. Love is conscious sameness through the world. To the doer in the human, it is what? The feeling and desire of and as another, and of itself, and what the desire and feeling of oneself in and of the other. Your feeling desire start with you first, and then it goes outward. How you feel about somebody. Oh, I love you. No, you love the way I love. Love the way I talk. It's all different phases of love. If you love somebody because there's their knowledge, oh, you infatuated with intellect. If you love me because I teach, you love my intellect. You love me because I'm smart. You love me for how I look. You fascinated with the outward appearance of me. So love comes all different kind of back, and every individual should be under their own consciousness to deal with love from their own perspective. Let's talk about love in a doer. Love is a state of what? Balanced union and interaction between feeling and desire, in which each feels and desires what? Itself. To be and is itself and of others. Again, the love that you share starts with you first, and then you share it with others. Ooh, this is a good one. Lying and dishonesty. It's a lot of that going around because most egoistic people do just that. They're liars and they're very dishonest. Let's talk about them so I can wrap this up. The desire to be dishonest is to lie or a special pair of evils. When you plan to deceive, that's not good. They go what? First of all, liars are a special pair of evils. They go together. He who chooses, watch this, to be dishonest and to lie is one who, after long experiences through lives, has what? Failed to see things as they are, never knew themselves, never woke up to reality. And watch this. They are has they and as they are and has what? Misinterpreted what has been observed. You got it wrong. He has more, what? Particularly, he has more particularly seen what? The worst sides of people and has convinced himself that all men are liars. Some women got that concept. Their father may not have been a good father to them. They ran into men who didn't treat them right. So their whole concept about men is not good. Okay, but we should understand one person don't set the precedent for all. I don't represent all men. I don't speak for all men. I just speak for myself. So understand that. But they got the concept all men are liars and are what? Dishonest. And not time they right, and that those who are usually what believed to be honest and trustworthy are only clever enough to what cover up their dishonesty and to conceal their lies. Those people are CEOs, bosses, high places where they can finagle and use people and play that game with you, and the whole time being liars, being dishonest and lying. Okay, this conclusion, watch this, breeds hatred towards them, and most people have revenge against them, want to do something to them. When a person lied to you, when a person misused you, mistreats you, the first reaction is to physically altercate, situation. Move past that. But watch this. They got hatred and revenge and what they call self-interest. And that one becomes what? An enemy to humanity as an outright criminal or as a what? Shrewd and careful plotter against others for what? Their own advantage. I know a few people like that. We all do. But some of them are clever enough. No, you can't hide dishonesty. You can't hide sneaking deceitful acts. Trust me, you can't. You may think you are, but a lot of those who don't recognize it, yeah, but those who do, we see you. However, watch this. Great a curse to what? The world that one may become his thoughts, as his destiny will eventually what? Reveal him to the world and to themselves. You can't lie and hide yourself. He or she will in time learn that honesty and truthfulness in thought and actions show the way to what? Self-knowledge. You can't know thyself lying, cheating, and BSing people with BS. Okay? That's in this lesson. I took a little long, got 30 minutes in. Hope the lesson was good. Just define the words. Just give you break down the words, define them, and explain them so you can use them to your benefit. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I'll be back. I ain't got to Z yet.